You can turn on the Instagram. Make sure that's going. Mute.
Do y'all get a chance? Do y'all have somebody that monitors the chat to tell us when?
He does.
Yes.
And look at the private chat too, the private comment. And when he's
looks like we're live but we're behind the scenes. So let's give a shout out to everybody that's coming in while we're waiting.
We don't see your face. You showing your boob.
No, we're not showing we're just showing the opening screen while we greet folks. I'm having some problems behind the scenes here, but we could just start to shout out some folks as they're coming in the room. Give me a couple of seconds. Yeah, we're live. Let's get some names on the screen.
Hey guys.
Hey everybody. Who we got?
Nosy Rosie.
Hey Nosy girl. We missed you. We missed y'all. Hey Tess. Oh. And this is so crazy because I'm looking, Tressy's here and everybody's here, and we've been going so hard for the last few weeks, and we're at a point right now. Hey Kimberly. We're coming. My computer keeps going crazy here. I don't want to be on my phone. So I'm trying to get on this computer. Hey. Hey, Rob. Hey.
Okay, so I see the YSL Rico. I see like a black screen.
That's what we intended to do. We're behind the scenes right now while I'm trying to get on line. Everybody, we're just shouting out some people while we're getting set up here. That is Sir William. He's our special guest tonight from the Obnoxious TV channel. I'm going to give him a shout out to his whole crew, inviting him to the show. Hey, Mr. Green Eyes. Good evening, Sylvia Mars in chat. Well, Miss Green Eyes. Sorry. Hey, Kaya. Is it Kaya? It's Kaya, right? It's Kaya.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kia.
Kia. Kaya. Okay.
No, Kia.
Kia. All right. Steph Lover 217. What's up?
Tall Glass is here. She's waiting for the picnic.
You know what I'm saying? Tall Glass, listen, you got a commitment and obligation right now. We trying to get this all set up. We trying to get through the. Hey, Lady Coltrane.
Dom is here. My baby is here.
Aww. Who's that? Kenzie.
Kenzie.
Okay. Hey, Kenzie. Hey, Pretty Brown Eyes. Let's get some folks up here. VK, I want to see some names I ain't never seen before. I want y'all to shout us out. If you're here for the first time today, I want y'all to get on here so we can shout y'all names out. Yolanda. What's poppin'? Keeping it real with, okay. Well,
that's I think Mom. That's my baby.
Damn, okay. Who's this on the panel? That's Obnoxious. Wait, we gonna come see you being on eager. We coming. I'm gonna have to be on my phone because listen, this thing is not giving me any type of action, bruh. So I done rebooted 3 times. We coming. We keep coming. Give us some more folks.
Kenzie's first time.
That's you, right?
Kenzie's first time. Kenzie.
Go do that. We try to get my phone on. Go ahead. Okay, we're getting some more names. Hold up, people. Just keep coming through. We want to shout y'all out. We're going to give y'all 2 more minutes. Give me 2 more minutes to get myself situated. I'm going to come up on my phone. My computer's acting crazy, but we want to shout y'all out. Thank y'all for being here. It's been a crazy couple of days. We're so eager to talk to you about what's been going on. We're bringing a special guest on, Sir Williams from Obnoxious TV to talk. He's been also in the courtroom. And yeah, we got a lot to discuss about what's going to happen. That's perfect. What's going to happen with us over the next few weeks as we. This is good. Yeah. All right. Well, I think I'm good. I'm a little crooked, but I'm good. All right. Who, Nakima? Is that Nakanya? Sorry, Nakanya. All right. I'm ready to go on.
Wanda.
Kenzie, my first time. Hey, Kenzie. Ah! If it's your first time here, hey, yeah, Micah. If it's your first time here, let us know. We're so happy to have y'all here. Wanza Jordan, hello.
It's my peeps. My peeps.
Listen, I'm on my phone, B. Don't pay no attention to me.
To see you.
Hey, listen, wait, but don't pay no attention to my background. It ain't ready. I got my dead plant in the back. He wasn't supposed to be on camera today, but this is what it is. What you looking at, sir? I see you trying to steal my dead plant. Everybody, welcome Sir William from Obnoxious TV. Join in the collaboration and discussion this evening. Of course, Sylvia has been in the courtroom with Sir William. And you guys have been witnessing firsthand all of the dramas and such. And we have been so eager because so much has happened in the last 24 hours to kind of see where we are now and where we're going because things have changed. Sylvia, first of all, just give a shout out, sir, to all your peoples. You know,
Hey,
I know
my
you want to.
peeps. Hey, peeps.
All the obnoxious people, we want to give y'all a shout out. Welcome, sir. What you call your people?
Oh, I don't have a specific name for them.
Oh, but they're obnoxious.
You know,
Are they
just as they
obnoxious?
come in, I speak.
Okay.
Yeah, so as they come in.
Okay. Well, we're happy to have you, and thank you so much for joining us. It's been a rough couple of days. Sylvia, bring us up to speed with gosh, the last time we spoke to folks, right?
Okay,
We
just
had
real
found
quick,
out
a
about
real quick
Shannon.
housekeeping thing. When I put my name in, I don't see my name underneath me.
Okay, you don't see your name. Do we see anybody's names up tonight? I don't see my name either. So, producer, you can take care of that while we're there we go.
There you go.
There you go. You made the magic happen. Thank you.
There we go. Excellent. Okay.
So the last time we left off, we had talked about Shannon. Shannon had gotten stabbed. The last time we left off, you gave us a brief overview of the conversation you had with Shannon's wife. And then last night, we released the video interview you did with Shannon and his wife. So let's bring people up, give them a little bit more detail on that, because we need to bring people up to speed who have not been around for the last 24 hours. And then we'll talk about what happened today, what did not happen today, right? Okay, so wait. You want to run some footage? Yeah, what you want to run? Well, let's get started. What do we have?
Right.
Okay.
Hello, Miss Alexander. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, Miss Sylvia.
So, tell us a little bit about what happened. Do you know exactly what happened in the jail, or?
Well, I don't know exactly what happened. I'm sorry. Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you.
Okay. I don't know what actually happened, but I do know now from speaking with his lawyers that he was stabbed 2 times in the back and in the stomach. He's in recovery right now. He was in surgery for 2 hours, but he is in recovery right now, and his lawyers are on the way to see him now.
Okay. So he is in recovery now. I'm assuming he's now out of recovery. He's in the hospital, but he was stabbed, according to his wife, in the back and in the stomach, right, Sylvia?
Yes, in the back and the stomach. I spoke with her this morning, and she gave me a few updates that they had to put a tube down his nose to get the fluid out. So that he's still being watched in recovery. And of course, they have somebody at the door to make sure anybody don't come and mess with him.
So they got security posted up at his door.
This is the second attempt on his life.
Yeah. So she's able to see him? She's able to go and be with him at the hospital, or no?
Nope. She's not able to see him.
Yeah, she mentioned something in the last interview you had with her that she was told not to come down there. She would be locked in or locked up, or what was that? Did you get clarification on what she was trying to say there?
She said she didn't understand what they meant, but they said that she would get locked up because I guess he is on protective custody right now. They're making sure no one comes in and out that can harm him.
Well, they can't be making sure of that because he wouldn't have been stabbed.
Hello.
They're making sure after the fact, right?
Yeah.
So he's in the hospital. She cannot reach him, but she's speaking with him by phone. So she can't talk to him in person. She can't be with him.
No, not right now.
And is she saying that his prognosis is good? Is she saying that I know you said he was stable, but is his prognosis good?
Yeah, he's a fighter. In fact, he walked into the ambulance. After he had gotten stabbed, he walked in. He wasn't put in a stretcher or anything like that. He walked in onto the ambulance truck.
Lord. Lady Coltrane says he has an NG tube. What's an NG tube?
He had one where they put it inside to try to get the. I don't know what the NG, but I know they was pulling fluid out from his I guess where he. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not gonna, because she just said he had a tube inside to get the fluid out. That's what she told me.
So what about the back
So it
wound?
must have been out of his lungs.
Well,
I guess it must have been fluid. I'm.
It could be maybe fluid in his stomach
only
too.
fluid that they would need to extract would be, and if he was stabbed in his back, then they must have punctured a lung, sound like, or to get some kind of fluid. Well, I don't know when
any nurses and doctors in the building, give us some information. One cool piece says it pulls fluid out. Do you know more about that? Can you tell us a little bit about why they would have a tube? You said down his throat or down his nose?
It says she says down his nose to remove the excess fluid. That's what Kinsey Davis said.
So if it's going down his nose, it's going into his esophagus, it's going into his stomach feasibly. It could be going. Okay, Kenzie says it runs through the nose to remove excess fluid from, I'm assuming, the intestinal tract, because it's going down the nose into where we digest our food. So that would also mean the stomach as well. I've had a few. Okay. So Cool Pete, tell us, what does that mean? Does it mean that he's incapable, if he's building up fluid? I'm wondering if that can tell us a little bit about his condition, like how serious it is. Did she say how serious the injury was?
He had surgery, so it had to have been very serious. He had surgery. 2-hour surgery.
It doesn't seem like she's getting a lot of detailed information, about.
They can't really, because he is in custody.
They're only going to be limited with her. She's not a wife.
She's not his wife officially.
She's his fiance.
Well, that doesn't count. The only way that she's going to have legal access. See, like, really, technically, they're not obligated to tell her anything because she's not considered to be in any kind of way legally next of kin. So technically the person that they would have to, or that they should be talking to, would be his mother.
No, his grandmother. His grandmother.
Or whoever his next of kin is. But technically, with her just being a girlfriend or a fiance, that's not legally binding.
I believe the fact that they're
even speaking to her at all.
I believe she has power of attorney because that was done before he went to jail.
Oh, really? You believe that? What makes you think that, Sylvia?
She's the one who handles everything. She handles the attorney and everything. She does everything.
Oh, okay.
Because his grandmother's pretty elderly.
So that means she does have access to that information. So why is it that she?
Well, if she has power of attorney, then
she probably knows more than what I'm telling you guys. You understand what I'm saying?
Or more than what she was willing to share.
Yeah.
Okay.
It just was really.
Do we know, is he in ICU?
No, he's out. He's in recovery.
Okay.
I'm just really interested if she does have power of attorney, why is it that they told her not to come down, that she would be arrested or that she would be
right? That's not adding up.
You got to remember, she is a witness, guys. She's a witness. She's part of the. You remember the state has called her as a witness, so technically she cannot even be in the courtroom anymore.
I see. So Torres makes a good point. He's still considered a prisoner, so nobody can see him except his attorney.
Yes.
And the fact that she's a witness also makes it even more problematic. But they're allowing her to have a conversation with her, I'm assuming supervised phone calls, just about his health and I guess basic information that she would need to know.
Yeah, I mean, she still talks. She was talking to him the night that it happened.
So he is in stable condition. He's under a security watch at the hospital. Did she say how long they're anticipating he's going to be there?
We don't know.
Okay. Well, we were looking up yesterday. When this first happened, we talked about this, Sylvia, and
Okay,
we were
one of
talking
my
about.
followers says, greetings, Dr. Blackwell. He says that power of attorney and next of kin is legally two separate things. So what she would have access to handle business-wise for him would be far different from access that the criminal justice system would give her. So she may be a power of attorney that's going to be far as his checking and banking accounts and things of that sort and handling business. But I think that it goes back to what I was originally saying, far as medical access and being able to, like, if so, Dr. Blackwell, you can help us with this. He says I'm correct. So if it was just hypothetically speaking, and we certainly don't want this to happen, but if it was a judgment call, as if he was severely hurt to the point where he was on life support, this fiance would not have say as to whether or not save him or take him off.
Yes, she
Correct.
would. She would, because that's who they contact when this happened to her. That she went to the jail. They contacted her.
Okay, so there's a question as to what she has, but I think that
I gotta remember, the thing is, he is a prisoner. That's the key. He's a prisoner. If he was in the outside world, it would be totally different. But he is a prisoner. He is the in the custody of the state. So the state would be the one to make the decision on certain things.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Like who could see him right now, that type of thing, because he's still considered in custody.
Okay.
Right. Right. Okay, so we've got him in, but thank God right now he's safe. He's in custody at the hospital. We don't know how long this is going to take. We're good. We don't know how long this is going to take, but just looking at stomach injuries, we looked this up yesterday. This is something that's going to take him, 6 to 8 weeks before he is able to be recovered to the place where he can even, sit up and all day in a courtroom. So we were talking about this yesterday when it happened, that the probability of it coming back today was not going to happen, which it didn't, that they were going to go on this break and use this week, and then the 3 weeks that they had already planned. So that's going to give it 4 weeks, right? Well, let's see, this week, but next week.
Well, we were going to be off from the 15th was going to be we were going to recess on the 5th. So we were going to technically have 2 weeks for the holiday break.
2.5, because it was coming back on the 5th, right?
The second.
Okay. So now we've got 3, so it's a little bit like almost. It
might be the 8th. I don't think it's coming back on the 2nd either. I think it's coming back on the 8th. This is just me.
Yeah. So that brings me to the conversation.
Why would you say the 8th?
Because just thinking how long it's going to take for him to recover.
That's that Monday.
And it's going to be about 4 weeks at least. Just thinking about a stomach injury where you've had 2 hours of surgery, plus it's going to take him at least 4 to 6 weeks, just the baseline. Dr. Blackwell, your guy, Dr. Blackwell, does that sound about right? That just in terms of recovering, where he could sit up in a courtroom and be submitted to that type of long hours of sitting, he's not going to be able to do that. And certainly maybe by 4 weeks. So that's the 2nd week in January. So I think the earliest we could even look to be back, it would be the 2nd week in January, and that's if he is improving at a really steady pace. So we have 4 weeks that we're not going to be doing. The trial is not going to be happening. When you guys went back this morning, what was going on? Because the judge said, come back in the morning and we'll see what happens. They did not broadcast any of this. So what was going on behind the scenes?
What happened is we stayed out there for at least an hour and a half. And he was talking to the attorneys, the prosecutor. Those are the only ones that were inside the courtroom. And by the time we got inside the courtroom, they had already made a decision. And all they wanted to do is tell the jury that, hey, we're going to give you your time off early. Don't go on the internet. Don't do this. Don't do that. And then he let him go, and that was it.
So you guys weren't witness to what any of the conversations or the discussions that were happening in the courtroom. They had you guys outside.
It almost felt like, or sort of, what I'm thinking. I'm thinking maybe because the one thing that I can understand, if they were going to cut it, why they just didn't cut it yesterday. And so it seemed like he was, needed the night to kind of get some kind of assessment.
I don't think the judge knew the full extent of it because it happened
of the
like
injury.
1 o'clock.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It happened like 1 o'clock. Nobody really knew. The attorneys didn't really know what was going on. And then they had to contact the hospital to find out what his prognosis is. And that's what happened. They didn't have all the full
They didn't have enough information to make an assessment about us.
Because they didn't even know. At first, it was just they told him he was stabbed in the belly. But then later on, we found out he was stabbed in the belly and the back.
Mm-hmm. And Judge Glanville's motivation, as you all know, was secure, right? So he's waiting to see if there's any way that this is not going to be a complete disaster where we cannot have court. Where this, first of all, that his life is not in danger in such a way that he might actually need to be severed from the trial. Or that, something that would cause the trial to be completely derailed. So he's looking to cure it. So he's waiting overnight to see what is this guy's, condition. What are our remedies in this situation so that we can determine what we can do and what we cannot do. I'm assuming that the attorneys talked about things such as severing him. What the option of doing that would look like.
And then the attorney, because we tried to do an interview with the attorney. Attorney says that he's not allowed to say anything. I guess it's been what do you call it, censored? He's been censored saying anything to us. So because we waited outside for him to tell us, what was the status and everything. So he couldn't tell us anything.
Well, that probably would have gone into some HIPAA violations.
That's true. But the most of the stuff that we're learning is from basically the jail itself, and since she is a person that is have the power, she was given more information than anybody else.
So I'm just thinking about the options that they had to explore here, that they still have to have on the table, right? Because they're saying, okay, if we come back and January 2nd is happening and he's still not well, they're going to have to really look at whether or not they can sever him from this, and maybe put him on the second trial that's going to happen.
They're not going to sever him.
So then what other options are there to postpone it indefinitely because again, at the end of the day, the doctor's going to determine whether or not he's fit to stand trial, right? It's not going to be in the hands of the court at all. So, they have to determine with this case that they've invested so much into, how long are they going to postpone this thing? Postpone it is going to potentially poison the jury. You can't tell people to stay off social media forever and ever and ever, right? So it's like, okay, do we sever him and put him with the other folks? And then what do we need to do to remedy this situation? Because he's trying to keep this trial from falling completely apart in all the work that they've done. So I think that that's going to be a serious consideration as they look at, how is he going to be looking over January 2nd?
Let me ask. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut
you.
No,
go ahead, Star. It's cool.
So I have. Well, it's not funny, but I got two questions. Okay, what if they had killed his ass?
Daniel, his case would have been over with. His case would have been over with.
And I really don't want to sound like negative or I don't know. It's not no nice way to say it. But what I'm saying is so today it was like he's so critical, we can't move on without him. We need him in this courtroom. Okay, had they'd have made 2 attempts on his life, had they killed his ass, then he would definitely not be coming back. He would definitely not be recovering. Would that have collapsed the trial?
They would have
That's a
moved
good
on.
question.
They would have moved on. They would have just canceled his part and moved on. That's what they would have did. But
why can't?
Because he's a critical part of trying. Because they're saying,
so why can't we do a motion where? Why can't a motion be made and he
sever
not
him from the trust?
he not do it
if they
from
sever
his
him,
court?
the case is going to be weak because those are the murder charges. Remember?
Well, but that's the same thing Sir is saying, right? Like what you have to be able to look at this and say, look, okay, he did not die. So they're trying to he's trying to hold this thing together. Because if this man, bottom line, like you said, if he had died, then he would essentially been severed from the trial. And they don't want to really sever him because it will collapse the entire case. So that's a last resort that's going to happen, because how do you?
But so he couldn't be simulcast?
From his bed?
We had COVID and people were doing court via Zoom.
Not in a jail, not in the hospital.
Somebody said, go back with that last comment, Steve. Unfortunately, the state doesn't care, and I'm willing to bet that the trial will continue on the 2nd of January. They want him bad.
No,
the doctor is going to decide. This doctor don't care about what the state wants. The doctor, you could be a murderer. The doctor will determine whether or not you are fit, because he is the one that's responsible. So
it doesn't really matter. Say whether or not the person is strong enough for you to question them and all of that kind of stuff.
He would have to be able to sit all day. You have to sit in that court. When you're sitting, that's affecting your stomach, your stomach muscles and all of that other stuff, the stability and all. You can't have people sitting. So he's got to be able to sit for 8 hours in court. That's a big ask for somebody that just had stomach surgery. So I'm just thinking that they're going to come back in January 2nd and they're going to say, what's his condition now? Okay, this is where we are. What can we do? Because we can't let this go on indefinitely. They can't. The longer they have the jury out, the more potential there is to poison the jury, right?
And the jury's memory is going to be elapsed.
Right. So he's in a Glanville's
you know what this means.
Mistrial? What?
Mistrial and a reschedule. They're gonna go back and try to do a redo. I mean, all of the handwriting is on the wall.
Well, Sylvia, you were saying that they weren't ready. The state is really not ready anyway.
No,
and then you got the witnesses who don't want to testify.
It's almost like they said, okay, we got a hunch. Let's go in and arrest these guys, and then while we have them in custody, then we'll dig. It's the same way, BJ. It's the same way we did with Bishop Eddie Long. We didn't really have a solid case against Bishop Long. We went with the lawsuit, we went with the allegation, but it wasn't until they broke into church that we actually had substantial proof to back the allegation. And then once I found Centino Kemp and I walked him into the courtroom, and that ended the trial right then. That ended the whole situation. So it's almost, for me, it almost looks like, okay, we got a hunch that something's going on here with YSL, but we're not really sure. But while we have them in custody, we can do all of this discovery and find out.
They're working backwards, you're saying.
And listen.
Yeah, I would say from the times I've been down, that's my observation. That their case is very, very weak, and they do not have substantive. I mean, you're calling almost 1,000 people to testify. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of you're going back to incidents
from 6-7 years ago, right?
2015.
Yeah.
In a mall.
Right. They're reaching, right, Sylvia?
Yeah.
Sylvia, what were you going to say?
Sorry, at best. You know
exactly.
what I'm saying? I'm just saying at best. You
I
know.
was gonna say that they're not gonna be trying to make him comfortable.
I'm sorry.
But you mean Shannon?
Yeah, they're not gonna be trying to make him comfortable. As long as he's able to come in, they're gonna bring him in.
Well, yeah, and as long as the doctor says that he's able to come in, he's going to come in. But if that doctor says that it is not my medical recommendation that he be brought to trial, that is what's going to stand. Because if that man dies because they brought him into trial and to sit there for 8 hours, and he gets sick and he gets an infection, or he regresses in some way, the doctor's going to be the one responsible. A mistrial wouldn't benefit anyone but the state. I don't know. Yeah, it would to some extent because they'd get to start all over again, but it wouldn't benefit the coffers of the state. I mean, at the end of the day, everybody's got to spend money again. You said that Antoine said you said that. At the end of the day, the mistrial it's not going to benefit anybody. Everybody's got to go back to the drawing board. These men have to be subjected to this stuff all over again. Jeffrey was not in jail prior to this. He's in jail because of this. So the longer this thing is dragging on, the longer he has to be incarcerated. They refuse to give him bond. How many times did he ask for bond, Sylvia?
4 times.
4 times. So they refuse to give him bond.
Now they have to give him bond if they go into mistrial.
They have.
I would think so.
He's been in jail long enough.
He would have been in jail long enough, and they would legally have to give him a bond.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what do you think of the probability that Jeffrey is trying to have him killed?
Oh my God, we're not going to be talking about him.
No, don't say that,
sir. No, we don't even doing that.
I'm looking at all angles.
Well, listen,
because
yeah.
I hate to be negative, but y'all know I'm my blog is called Obnoxious, so I'm just gonna be that for a second,
and we'll be the counterbalance. Okay.
The person that would benefit if he was not present and of sound mind and body would be that of Jeffrey.
That's not true.
That's assuming that he has something negative to say about Jeffrey. Why did you assume that?
Well, because Jeffrey's supposed to have been the leader of the gang and gave the order for whoever Shannon or maybe that's not correct. My understanding was Jeffrey is the gang leader and ordered this hit or ordered this murder that Shannon executed.
Well, even if that were the case, as long as Shannon is not saying anything negative, or he doesn't have anything negative to say about Jeffrey.
Why would someone from YFN be listening to Jeffrey if what you're saying is what it is? Because Willie, the guy Willie Brown, is a YFN. It's not a YSL person.
So he's from the other gang.
Yes, he's a rival.
He's with the other. He's with
YSN.
YSN.
Yeah.
So YFN, Willie Brown, apparently, and this is new information because I didn't realize that, Sylvia. So Willie Brown, the guy who stabbed him, is from YFN. That's what people are saying.
He's affiliated with them when he went into prison.
Well, he's a brutal murderer because he killed his own kid.
Well, that's alleged, of course, because he still has not been.
No, it's not alleged because it's not alleged because I have a police report on that one.
He's a treacherous nigga.
Well, wait. You have the police report. You have the police report, but is it he's not going to trial yet, right? Sylvia?
Well, he is deemed incompetent. He's not even going to go to trial.
Okay, so have they determined that he did this? Because that you're supposed to go to trial.
Police officer was there when he threw the baby up in the air. It was a 10-month-old baby. The baby was making too much noise. He got upset. He got upset at the baby, threw the baby up the thing. The baby head hit the little sharp object, let the baby fall to the ground. That's what happened. The police officer came and they held the baby. The baby died in the police officer's arm.
Jesus.
Died 2 days later, but he stopped breathing, and the police had to revive the baby. Took the baby to the hospital.
Treacherous. So it's
okay. So So a million. So basically, the point. We digress with Mr. Brown, who is he's so horrible. I don't even want to mention him and give him any light on this program because he doesn't deserve our attention. He obviously is a monster, according to what he's allegedly done. And again, I say allegedly because unless he's been proven, I don't know if that's the
Well,
case.
he's incompetent. He's not even gonna go to trial.
Okay, so he had no motivation. So basically, anybody could pay him to do this because he's staying in jail anyway. So it could have
He
been
had
anybody.
nothing to lose. He had nothing to
He
lose.
had nothing to lose. Amelia said she thinks the state was behind it. We're doing all kind of theories tonight.
Hey, we got all kind of conspiracy theories going tonight.
Yeah, Javion said that too. Well, the state was involved. Oh my God. I don't put it past the state. Everybody, whoa, because their case is weak. They're like, listen, since we have a weak case, we're just gonna kill them.
This is what I think.
No, I don't like this kind of talk.
Fulton County,
I know.
think that jail is so corrupt.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody was slipped some money to allow this monster to have access to Shannon.
Well, I think that there is definitely some incompetence here, right? So
they moved him. Remember, 2 weeks ago they moved him from protective custody and put him out with the regular.
The question is why, right? Because the lieutenant claims that he is so upset that this happened. He's so upset. He told the wife, right? He's so upset that this has happened, that he was moved. 2 weeks later, you find out 2 weeks that he's been out there. How does this happen? Why did they move him? And I'm curious, has there been any investigation yet we know
right now?
Huh?
The investigation is going on right now.
Okay, I understand the investigation about the stabbing, but the investigation into what happened in the jail that he wound up where he was, is that happening right now too?
That's happening as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's just it is evident, and this is indicative of the level and the gravity of corruption that is going on in that jail. Well, somebody was slipped some money. One of those jailers, one of those POs was slipped some money to allow access to Shannon.
That happens on a TV show. We've seen that on some shows before. What a mess, Emmanuel says. Yeah, I mean, listen, that's definitely a possibility. We've seen that when what shows are Law and Order, CSI, all kind of stuff. There's a possibility that happened too. But the fact is that
60 Days In, all those shows expose this kind of stuff.
This jail is the Rice County Jail is supposed to be the most dangerous jail in Georgia. And that the state and the
country now.
I think that we got a few other contenders in Mississippi that might, but the state is already probing this jail for corruption and just allowing the money and funds that are supposed to be used are being misappropriated. Prisoners are being not taken care of. So there's definitely a problem at this jail. They don't, it's overcrowded too. It's like sometimes they say the top's 3,000. It's supposed to only have about 1,200 inmates in the jail. So you're talking about more than double the amount of inmates. But are they doubling the security? Are they doubling the parole officers or the correction officers? Probably not. So when you have a situation like this, you can't control what's going on. The warden can't control it. Nobody can control it because it's not being well managed. All right, so let's talk about where this is. Where are we going to go at this point? Oh, wait, we want to go to what? Oh, okay. Hold on a second. I can't see mine from here. Hold on. I'm sorry. Hold on. We want to look at some mistrial stats, and we want to look at some people's comments on video that have been sent in. So let's look at some mistrial stats. This was our question of the day. Will this case end in a mistrial? 65% of you said yes. 35% said no. And again, we're all watching this every day. It's not like we're hoping for a mistrial, but again, according to what Afi Patterson, the attorney we had on last week, she said that there are certain criteria that it would have to meet in order for it to qualify for mistrial. She said that there would have to be serious misconduct. There would have to be a violation of the defendant's rights. They would have to be prejudicing of the defendant and procedural irregularities. I think we've covered at least 3 of those items. So I understand Glanville is motivated to cure and try to hold it together. But I think that the poll is right in the mistrial question. You have a video you want to show, producer?
I'm Don Marley J, and I'm from the Bronx, representing. You see where I'm at. Following this YSL Young Thug trial, I feel like it definitely should be a mistrial because there's too many inconsistencies. It's just too much. We done seen situations where it's been like this, and we seen how things have gone. So hopefully that doesn't happen. But when it comes to this, it's just too much trying to, get people from Atlanta and different sides to like testify against him where it doesn't match up. That shit is not cool. So it's too many inconsistencies, and I feel like he definitely would get off. Free Young Thug, free YSL, you heard, all the way from New York. You know what it is, man. Definitely holla, so.com.
So that's some feedback from folks. Let's look at some comments and answer some questions. Yeah, guys? Let's look at some comments and questions, producer. I was told to remind you, if you want to get on video and you want to answer the question as to whether this ultimately will be a mistrial, you can go to the question of the week. I know if you're on your phone, you can't use this QR code, but if you're not, you can use the QR code from your phone. It'll take you directly to a video ask solution, and you can record your answer. 2 minutes to talk, 1 minute, I'm not sure. But anyway, that's the question of the week, and we're recording that for you to post up on the show if you have some before the end. Let's take some more comments. Wouldn't be surprised if the state was involved. Yeah, Javion. It's the COs. The jail is dangerous. They're doing some shady stuff over there. Well, yeah, we were just talking about this prison in particular. Apparently it was created in 1989. It was built, and it's like falling apart, right? Sylvia, you were saying that that there was something where people are taking shards from the walls and creating knives.
Yeah, one judge says that when they were doing like a Zoom call, one of the inmates was trying to go into the light area and pull out the light fixture so they can use it as a shank.
It's wild up in the Rice County jail. Okay, what else we got going on here? I know, I'm sure none of the current defendants are going to testify, so he was just targeted because he's on the case, period. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Sierra. Like, I can't see any of these folks testifying against one another. It doesn't benefit them. And, I don't see that was going to happen. So, like you said, I mean, you're in a jail with a rival gang. If you're open, they're coming for you, right?
Yeah.
Sad to say, but when you go to Rice Street, you better know how to fight. Anybody been in jail here? Tell us if you've ever been in Rice Street and you have firsthand insight into the Rice Street prison. You know anybody that's been there? Let us know. We're interested to know what your experience was.
It said it's. I went there to not inside prison, but I went there to go. Me trying to do an interview. It's horrible looking in there.
Oh my!
It reeks.
It smells.
It smells like urine. And unclean. I've been on maybe 3 or 4 occasions with bailing folks out, and it is probably one of the most horrible experiences.
Ghetto.
Just the attitude of the deputies that work there is I don't care. I don't, pretty much. I mean, it's just it's
And
hard.
my thing is, people would say, well, they're in jail. What do they expect? I mean, the fact of the matter is our tax dollars are paying for these prisons.
Well,
These are private,
but the
a lot
other
of these.
part about it
Mhm.
and I was saying this on my live before we came on, is you have people, and what you have to remember, audience, is that you all are making the assumption that a person, because they're in jail, is some level of a criminal.
Right.
No, I can live in one state, got a ticket, was driving a rental car, got a speeding ticket, got a moving violation, or something of that sort in a whole nother state, forgot to pay the ticket, it becomes a warrant. I get stopped by an Atlanta police officer, and that warrant comes up. I'm going to jail, and I'm going to be in a holding cell and in around, depending on when my family member can get me bonded out. I'm going to be in the confines with people like Willie Brown, who are other folks that have done aggravated assaults, that are in there for maybe attempted manslaughter, serious drug deals. You can simply, with a basic moving violation, get caught
In this
and
web.
be in a situation like this.
Yeah, and that bonding out, a lot of times I was reading that, certain states have minimums, like it's like once you pay your bond, they're supposed to let you out within a certain amount of time. And people are still being held over longer. So even if your relatives get to you very quickly and pay your bond, you're still winding up in there longer than you're supposed to be. So, and
Exactly.
regular people, and this is the
They
reason why we
have,
need to be
I think
concerned.
it's a couple of them I know that they held them an additional 24 or 48 hours, and the bond was already paid for. And and the people at the jail had just not done
The paperwork.
not gotten to or processed the paperwork.
Right. And that's how it starts for a lot of people. It starts with these small incidences, these small minor infractions, and they could be in jail for months because of this. So it's not like you said, it's, we look at the conditions like, oh, well, they're in jail. A lot of people that are in jail are not prisoners, not criminals.
And they're still human beings.
Right.
And they still have certain basic right and inalienable rights to be handled properly. I should not be speeding on 75, 85 and get a speeding ticket and wind up going to jail and potentially losing my life.
Like
Or
that man did.
potentially
Remember that
something.
guy?
Which guy, Sylvia?
That deacon recently that died. He got into a car accident.
Yeah.
Put him in jail, and then he ended up dying.
Yeah. And this is
Rice Street.
At Rice Street.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what's happening with your tax dollars, people of Atlanta and people of
for
Georgia.
some reason, the Fulton County commissioners will not approve the money that Labatt has asked for to renovate the jail. So it's some level of conflict there. And what I really believe that the Fulton County commissioners are doing is holding out to wait and see after the election if he wins or if we wind up having another sheriff.
Well, it always comes down to politics. And listen, you better believe it's coming down to politics. I think this whole case started off with politics. Fannie Willis, I appreciate she's a Black woman in high places doing big things. But she's a politician. That's an elected position, from what I understand, in Georgia, and she is motivated to get high-profile cases with high-profile people so that she can have something to wave her flag on when it comes time for the election. So it all comes down to election. So people who don't vote, this is what you get when you don't vote. You know, you think your vote doesn't matter. You're worried about voting for the president. You need to be voting for your sheriff. You need to be voting for your DA and your prosecutors and things like that, because those are the people that are affecting your family every day. That's how
Right.
it is
Your
in
city
prison.
solicitor.
Right. The
You
city
know,
solicitor. Yeah. Yeah. So right,
all
that's
of
we
those,
say.
all of those small things in those small offices that you don't think count, but they affect your direct life. They have direct impact on the quality of life that you have on a daily basis.
That's right. Not whether it's Biden or Trump. It's the who picks the warden, who picks the
Your
the
city
judges.
councilman,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
your city council, these people that have these basic. I was a school teacher here. You know, the person that is on, or those persons that are on the school board that are making decisions based upon our funding. I mean, it was just it was so frustrating. I taught at Washington High, I taught at Grady High, and it was so frustrating that basic things that I needed to be successful and have a safe, environment in my classroom. I had
Mhm.
35 kids
Mhm.
to one person
Yeah. That's public
that's
school
on
for you.
track to be the next person in one of these cases.
Right. Right.
You
Right.
know, that is on, and that was what it was about.
Let's get some more comments in. We
Those
got,
monies and dollars and those
yeah.
funding is almost biased, or not almost, but biased and set up for us not to do well.
You better believe it is. So we say let's vote. Say vote. Get your registration. November's coming up. Let's get some more comments for the last few minutes. Facts also state elections. And then Facts County. What? Facts County Vote School Board. What's that? Facts Country. I don't know what that is. What's that? Oh, Facts Country Vote School. Sorry, y'all. Facts. Thanks,
I
Emmanuel.
think they were
I
trying
mean,
to say
thanks for a
county
minute.
votes and school
Uh-huh,
board.
uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh. Okay, it's been in it for 10 years. They're both good artists. Yeah, that's uh-huh. Yeah, they're good artists. Okay. Why this courtroom seems to have no structure. Listen now. I don't know what's going on with listen, the Glanville's got a hard job, but there's definitely I think it's because it's rushed. I think that we keep seeing, getting back to the same thing, that it seems as if it was rushed, and the lack of preparation is continuing to cause issues with this trial. Keep going. So if the mistrial happens, do everyone take a plea deal to go back to jail? Sylvia, what do you think? If a mistrial did happen, let's speculate. What happens then?
No, nothing happened with the plea deal people unless they violate their agreement.
If a mistrial happens, then they're gonna just have to do it
No,
again.
they're gonna hold him. It's gonna be just like the situation with the man that shot and killed his wife in the back, from the back seat of the car. If they have a mistrial, those guys 9 times out of 10 are still gonna be uh since
They're
a
gonna,
murder is involved, it may be a possibility that they all don't get bond.
yeah,
But
they're going to they're going
generally
to
they
have to
should get a
retry.
bond
They
if
talking
it's a
about the plea deal
mistrial.
people. They talking about the plea deal people. They already made their deal. It's done.
Yeah, so the
Oh
people
no,
who
they
pleaded
are.
out,
Their deal is done.
it,
But the guys that are still in custody, depending upon their charge, they may get a bond, they may not, but
mhm.
it's just going to be a reset date. That's all.
Yeah, I feel you crazy about Bonita. KK Bonita, sorry. Yeah. This is why we try to keep our stuff straight. But I think the point is even if your stuff is straight, You might still get nabbed in Fulton County because they wild out there. And apparently the police just pick you up for all kind of things out there. I was making fun with Sylvia, like, hey, don't.
Yeah. Well, the thing about it is, if you are a black person, if you're black or brown or any level of minority, and you operate a vehicle, you have a probability at any given point in time
being
to
stopped.
go to jail.
Yeah.
In Atlanta, you're right.
Driving is
In
an offense.
Atlanta, anywhere in the country. That man was a church deacon, stopped. And see, what the other part that people don't realize, your nerves, you go into, when that blue light hits behind you, immediately you go into you become a nervous wreck.
Yeah,
especially if you are a black man, because you do not know at that point what is going to happen and whether or not you are going to make it home.
Amen.
Yep.
And so, if you're not doing something wrong, you may possibly do something wrong. And I remember one time I was talking, he said, well, why you did that? I said, I got so nervous when you were driving behind me that I didn't even realize, I was just a wreck, and then, quite naturally let me go. But I mean, it's an unfortunate, and then we have to go back to, and this goes into this next trial. We have to go back to why police and was founded and established. It was established to control us,
to protect property.
And to keep us, now that we were out of their purview of slavery and trying to have some kind of civilized society, it was designed to keep black people in check.
Of course.
Yeah. And so it's a part of that whole inherited racism situation. You cannot tell me that a white judge, a black male going before a white judge, that they don't have preconceived notions of what they may or may think or may not think about us.
Somebody was just asking about whether people are holding the commissioner and the leaders in the area accountable. Do you guys know anything about that? Are people saying anything in the area about the conditions in Rice? I know that there is a state probe right now, but are people, regular folks, talking about the Rice prison?
Yeah, they're blaming each other, blaming one. The councilman blaming the sheriff blaming councilman. That's just what is that position called? Solicitor? What position?
They're commissioners, county commissioners.
Commissioner. The commissioner just going in on the police. I mean the sheriff. He's saying he's spending the money on the wrong thing, and it's crazy.
Yeah, I think that this is definitely an opportunity for the folks who are taxpayers there to get on top of this. This is a high profile case. Therefore, this incident is high profile. When you have this type of stuff in the news where it's hitting the New York Times and it's all over the country, this jail is under the spotlight. This is the time for y'all to pounce on these people and get their attention about what's going on in this jail and hold people accountable. I heard COs be having sexual relationships with inmates. Is it male and female there?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's all over.
The females are down and out.
No. The CO is male and female.
But are the inmates male and female also?
No, just male.
No, the females have a whole nother jail down on the south side.
Somebody said let's see, what are you talking about? We already had that. We talked about the size of the prison, etc. I'm looking at it. We talked about that already. The size of the jail, how many people are in it. Yeah. Yeah. I heard. See, okay, so yeah, I mean, it's all the prison system in this country is not about reforming people. We talked about this the other day. The fact that the prisons have been outsourced. The states have outsourced the prisons to corporations. The prisons are run by corporations, are owned by corporations that are on the stock exchange. Their motivation is to make more money, which means they need more prisoners. Which means by the time you're in third grade, they've already decided whether or not you're going to be a statistic and whether you're going to be in the prison system or not. It's very, very like everything is about capitalism in this country. People that think it's random, are well diluted. Let's take some more questions. We got a couple. I think we should probably look to end in a few minutes. Let's take some last questions. And what do you guys want to do from this point forward? Let's hear from you all. We want to continue to have conversations with you all. We were not planning to end this early. The trial is ending early, but we want to continue to have communication and conversations. Of course, we're going to have a break for holiday, but we don't want to, we've built a relationship. All my people, we're tall glass and everybody and all the folks and everybody. So we want to continue to let's talk about what you guys want to do maybe over the next few days. Have you thought about that, Sylvia?
I'm vacationing along with the courts.
but wait, that's not supposed to start until Friday. You supposed to be you supposed to what? It's just Wednesday.
Oh, we are the court's vacation. You said we start off our holiday early.
Oh, so you taking your holiday early?
I give y'all till Friday. After Friday, I'm done.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think that as long as there's something for us to talk about, I think that in terms of this case, we know we're not coming back. There's probably going to be some more updates on Shannon's condition as we move forward. Maybe, Sylvia, this will be a time for us to talk to some folks from the community, right? Maybe some relatives or some people in the community to get their perspectives on it and have some folks like that on the show. How do you like that? Talk back. Should Sylvia and all of us get some communications and some conversations going with some people in the communities? We can talk about what's happening, maybe some insights that we did not have that's coming from the folks who are in the community. I want to know people who live on Cleveland Avenue. What do they think about what's going on here? I think that I read that the city council person who represents that area was not for this RICO situation. I was reading that, I think, on the was it the Atlanta Voice or the Atlanta Black? I'm not sure which one of these publications that the city council person.
I have a friend who owns a store on Cleveland Avenue. I might have him to come in and tell us how it is owning a store in that area.
Because I think that one of the things that was happening when they were doing the pretrial hearings, we were hearing from people from the community who were talking about these guys a different way, especially specifically Jeffrey, a different way than what he's being depicted in this trial, right? Sylvia, you stay on Cleveland Avenue, right?
Hey, I used to go to Cleveland Avenue all the time. I have a friend that owns a store.
You used to go over there. You tell your friend to come. We want him on virtual. We don't want you over there.
Let me tell you, the times I've gone to Cleveland Avenue, I didn't see all of this that's happening. Thank God I didn't experience it. But I mean, even the store that they said that supposedly have the drug deals and stuff, I didn't even have a clue. I went in the store, bought my stuff, come out, and just going about my business. And I was going around there during that time that this stuff is going on. So
wait, Sarah says stay in the car. DoorDash it. Send the DoorDash guy to Cleveland Avenue.
My church is on Cleveland.
Your church is on Cleveland.
My church is on Cleveland Avenue. I did not, to be honest with you, until this trial, I did not know that, I guess that Cleveland was, I mean, I knew that it was hood, but I didn't know that it was as notorious as they're trying to make it out to be.
And I think that we've been speaking within the context that they have provided us. We're projecting what they want us to project, right? Because we're talking in the context that they have set up. But what if it's not like this at all? What if, again, they've created this scenario, this narrative that really is just a construct? If we were able to talk to people who live there, then we can maybe get some insight as to really what it's like living on Cleveland Avenue. Not calling out any names. We don't want anybody to be.
It's so deserted over there. It's like nothing. Because I mean, the McDonald's is gone. A lot of stuff is just like gone. So I'm like, okay, I don't see anything.
No, but I mean, down Cleveland, going from the freeway all of the way down to Jonesboro Road, you know, you have a now. First of all, Brown's Brown's Mill Golf Course, and African American and Black owned golf courses on Cleveland.
Come on now.
So, and you have a number of Black and influential men. One of our former city council members golfed at that what was his name? KC, the attorney, but he golfed at that golf course. So
my friend owns it.
and it's a community.
And Black people own stuff
When they did a redevelopment and a nice subdivision, maybe a half a mile off of Cleveland. So
let me ask you, wait, sir. Who's in the subdivision? Is it us or is it other folks in the subdivision?
It's us and others.
Because you know they be doing
a mixed race. One of my friends has a very nice 5-bedroom home in that subdivision, and it's mixed race.
Okay, and like you said,
the majority of it is a Black working class community. And I did not, until this trial, I'll be very frank and very honest with you, I did not, I was not aware that that street was as notorious as they're trying to make it.
I used to go to that Burger King all the time on that street, so I don't understand what they're talking about.
Atlanta's gotten to the point where it's like cowboys and Indians. You were in Buckhead across the street from the Atlanta Fish Market, and 4 people got shot and killed. So it's crime now happening all over and all through our city. It's not just these areas where they do that over there.
What about from a minute?
Like cowboys and Indians.
Hold on, sir. What's the street where the McDonald's is? He's saying that's the street that go down that street. Is that the street where it's wild, or what about that street? From a minute, are you saying that that's the street where there's stuff going on that is wild?
McDonald's no longer there.
Well, yeah. I guess what is he saying? Go further south of Cleveland.
I mean, it looks like.
And then y'all have to remember that area. We used to go to concerts. Yeah. Lakewood is over there.
Yep, sure is. But look, I'm not saying it's the most beautiful spot in the world. All I'm saying is the times I've gone there. In fact, I was there about 3 months ago. I don't see it. It's deserted to me. It's like, if you see people who look like they're on drugs, you see some of those, right? And you see some homeless people, but I mean, it's not the most attractive spot, but it doesn't seem dangerous to me.
Let's have some folks. Let's invite them on so we can talk about the other side of Cleveland Avenue, meaning the other way to look at Cleveland Avenue. I think that people in this community deserve to be able to share the good things about their community. Can you tell us
what the most beautiful churches in the city of Atlanta is the United House of Prayer for All People, and that church is absolutely gorgeous, and it sits on Cleveland. And I mean, I get off of every Sunday. I get off at Cleveland Avenue on 75 South, make that left-hand turn, and yes, you see people that Just like we see homeless folks everywhere, we see that.
Everywhere.
And you see people that they are working class individuals. A lot of the houses in that community are nice, probably one and two, possibly 3-bedroom brick homes, that is in that southeast Atlanta corridor.
Is it
And
possible they're
I
they're
just,
trying to clean it up of these guys so that they can gentrify it more so that they can build more subdivisions? That happens. That happens when
it may be
they're trying to
that
push
is
development.
happening, but I wouldn't want to have to walk down Cleveland, but there's, on the other side, there's, few soul food restaurants. It's just, South Fulton Hospital, until maybe a year or two ago, was on Cleveland.
This city has a history of pushing out the poorer communities. Look at that beautiful temple. The poorer communities in favor of
Now that's
economic
on Cleveland
development.
Avenue.
That's on
Is that
Cleveland,
not
right across from
a
McDonald's, from
gorgeous
Burger
church?
King. That
That's
one's right
beautiful.
across from Burger King. I know where that is.
Right. And I was like, Little Baby talked about in his documentary how the Olympics, when they brought the Olympics there in the 80s, I think, that was one of the first pushes where they basically pushed
96.
96, they pushed the community out, and essentially everybody wound up in this area. And that's, again, they're pushing people. It could be that for the purposes of development, more land grabs. You got all the men, 28 men that you took out of the community, 28 breadwinners, 20, whatever, however they were getting their bread, they were keeping their households. And that destabilizes the community. And that makes it so that you can come in and get rid of people and move people out so that you can build
Well,
development. So there's a whole lot of that.
they gave people one-way tickets to anywhere in America that they wanted to go when the Olympics came in.
They're like, yeah, we need y'all to get anywhere but here. Anywhere
And
but here.
then the Atlanta Housing Authority came in, and the whole idea was to dismantle public housing. So when we started getting Atlanta housing directors like Renee Glover, she was hired to totally dismantle Atlanta housing. So across the street from the Georgia State Capitol used to be some projects called Capitol Homes. And now Capitol Homes is $2 and $3 million condos.
Listen, man, you know what it is. Listen, we need to wrap up. We're going to talk about
I
what
know we can go on. This
we
has been
can go on.
good.
Listen, but I think that's a wonderful opportunity for us to spotlight the wonderful places on Cleveland Avenue, to let people see across the country that this is a community. These are working class people, that maybe it's not what they're telling you it is. Maybe this is a narrative that was created for the purposes of pushing a particular agenda.
And
We
right
don't know what
next
that
door
agenda.
to Cleveland, right next door to the House of Prayer, is a black dentist, an
Yeah,
African
let's get all of
American
these black
dentist,
people on.
and full dentist office there. So people are
Yeah,
selling and dealing dope all over, and
right.
not just in that
Let's talk.
area, but
Yeah,
they're
so let's
making it
spotlight
sound
some of these
like
places.
that it's so notorious, and it's, to me, I don't necessarily feel that it was that. I was sitting and getting my feet done on 10th and Peachtree, and the police came in and said, "Hey, we got an active shooter." So stuff is going on all over the
Everywhere,
country in
everywhere.
all kind of areas.
Okay, so listen, we're gonna try to keep you guys posted. Hopefully, we're gonna reprogram a bit If there's more information, we're going to look to do a live tomorrow. Keep your notifications on, please, because we're not certain what our schedule is going to be, but we want to make sure we keep you guys intact and engaged, and that we continue to have these important
Ms. V
conversations.
said that they dismantled
Public housing everywhere. Yeah, I want y'all to also come on. What's your Cash App, sir? You need to. Y'all need to continue to support us.
It's right there underneath my name.
Hold on. Okay,
$ Sir William, the letter G McCray, I.
And
And
y'all
that's
know
obnoxious
William and I
TV.
do field trips, right, William?
Huh?
I said William and I do field trips, right, William?
Right. We'll me and Sylvia will roll up on you.
Oh my God.
You know, that could be something that we could do. Sylvia and I, we could
Go to
maybe
different
do
places.
a tour or a drive through
Cleveland Avenue.
the Cleveland
That's right.
area to give the viewers just
A
a
real
little
look.
bit more hands-on
Man
or
on the
more
street.
of a feel.
Man on the street.
Listen, come on now. Get up out of here. Listen, y'all too cute sitting in your places. Get out there on the street with the people.
Hell, we do go out the street with the people. We go to the courthouse.
No, the courthouse. That's too safe. We need you to be on the street. Wait, sir, you looking too cute. You need to put on another outfit. You need to get a little bit basic there. You're looking too cute.
Listen, when Rashad Brooks got killed, I was at the Wendy's every day in my sweats with my cap turned back. And
That's right.
And I was with all the bros from the hood with the AKA 47s,
okay.
and I
With the
felt right
AK-47.
at home.
Okay, that's right. But we need you to put on. Let's get into the grind.
I can turn my cap to the back and get right out in the streets and right with the heart of the people.
So listen, if you're for that, give me a thumbs up. If you want to see them on the streets, give a thumbs up so we can get Sylvia and Sir on the streets. And we're going to broadcast it live here. We're going to keep you engaged. Keep your notifications on. Support Sylvia at Infamous Sylvia on your Cash App. Support SOHH at SOHH.com on your Cash App. And make sure you support by liking and subscribing and all the things. Everything that you can do, share this information. This is Black-owned media. We giving you the story direct. We giving you a story like you ain't gonna see it nowhere. We're not about exploiting. We're about getting the information
our
out.
story ourselves.
That's right. That's right. And we're doing it together. So we thank you all for coming. Thank you to all the obnoxious people that showed up today.
Thanks y'all. Thank y'all. I think Tab and
put the names up. Put the names up.
On, and
Sarah
a few
King,
other my folks. I really appreciate you all for coming over.
Thank you. We appreciate you. Have a good night, everybody. Keep your notifications. We're coming back tomorrow and tomorrow. All right. Bye-bye.